Good morning, friends. Mark Holmes here for my buddy Cowboy Joe Boo. And as always, thank you guys for watching, commenting, and subscribing to the Joe Boo Sports Report. Without you guys, this literally does not work. And thank you for tuning in to this morning's edition of Don't Sleep on the Dallas Cowboys, because you literally cannot sleep on the Dallas Cowboys. Woo. Yesterday was the off day for the Cowboys, first of the week. They'll be off also as well on Friday. We've gotten through 4 days of practices, and fortunately, our Cowboys have not had some of the major injuries that you're seeing around the NFL. Yesterday, what was definitely a gruesome injury for Ross Cottrell. Ooh, compound fracture of his tibia and fibula. You know, that's like right below the knee, both bones snapped. And what may have been kind of like Joe Theismann-ish. We don't know if the bone protruded out, but it was so bad that they ended practice right there. They said players had to look away. And that's the scary part about the NFL is the occupational hazards. You never know when a freak injury is going to happen. You never know when you're going to tear an ACL. That's why you have to be prepared. And I'm hoping that our Cowboys are going to be prepared to be able to absorb those, because everybody always has injuries. And injuries can make or break a season. So, prayers for him. And as much as I don't like other teams, I hate to see people lose players this time of year. I believe the Green Bay Packers lost one of their linebackers yesterday for the season as well. So you're seeing guys dropping like flies. And you're also seeing a lot of the rookies that are getting soft tissue injuries. The Cowboys have had a different approach this year. Last year, we had that terribly. You know, we had hamstrings pulled left and right, from Ryan Switzer to Xavier Woods to Awuzie. And, of course, Sean Lee has been famous for pulling hamstrings. But this year, the Cowboys have been focusing in on stretching, conditioning, and making sure we bring everybody along, not from 0 to 60, that we bring them along, that their bodies get going. And so far, so good, and hopefully that'll continue. Now, all the talk, of course, yesterday was everything but the Dallas Cowboys on the field. Jerry Jones and the Anthem protests and how he has been now gag ordered. And as the old saying goes, those who live in glass houses shouldn't cast stones. What was found, interestingly enough, was Jerry Jones during National Anthem wearing his hat. And I'm not trying to condemn him for that. I mean, maybe he didn't know. There's a lot of things that we don't necessarily know are not right, but we do. For example, a good friend of mine, we were out to San Diego, who's a military man, said when you go through, the way you're supposed to respect the flag. One of the things is the flag never touches the ground. And the flag is never displayed flat. So when you see it stretched out all across the field, that's not the way it's supposed to be done. The flag is supposed to be on a pole. But be that as it may, it is what it is. The anthem protests are... The Anthem protests have brought awareness to a major problem. What needs to be done now is solutions to the problems. Jalen Smith, I've been blessed, and a lot of you guys have always said that, oh, you're a fan of, you're a bandwagon fan because you've got stuff from other teams. Well, I'm not a bandwagon fan. I am a fan of individuals and players. Right up here, I've got hats that are autographed from Ron Jaworski, Nnamdi Asomugha, Josh Cribbs. Not because I'm following their team, but because I had the opportunity to work with them doing things in the community to make lives better for others. And that's where the NFL, the protest, and the players need to go. The platform, understand, I can talk all I want, But if a NFL player, especially a Cowboy, says something, people listen. Actions is where we need to go now. Jalen Smith is one of those guys that definitely gets it. Jalen Smith is starting an entrepreneurship program to help minorities start businesses, to be able to achieve, to make a better life. Because in the end, what the Anthem protests are about is about everybody being able to live the American dream. That's what it is. It's not about hating the country. It's wanting to be part of the country, being recognized as part of the country, being able to achieve in the country, to see your kids do better than what you did, see them off to college, make money, have a retirement, have a nice home to live in, be able to enjoy life, have a good job. That's what it all boils down to, and not worry about getting killed driving home. So hopefully, cooler heads will prevail. We can come up with a resolution that is good for everybody in the country that will make things better. That's what I'm going to hope for. And if you don't want to listen to me because you're saying I'm un-American or I'm a coon, well, I can't change everybody's opinion. But I'm going to keep doing what I do, which is trying to make people see both sides of the equation, to try and work on solutions. All right, we got that out the way. Here's an interesting thing. David Irving. David Irving has more potential, more gifts than the average player. But David Irving has to get his mind right over the course of the next 6-8 weeks. He's probably not going to be at training camp. But what it's doing is it's opening opportunity for other guys. And you're seeing guys that are kind of stepping up. Guys that have been given a second chance and an opportunity, and they're kind of running with it. You see Kona Ely. I talked about this yesterday. Kona Ely has looked fantastic these first 4 days. He is trying to get himself together. Jahai Ward, called by Rod Martinelli Dr. J. Again, we know how old Rod Martinelli is. Most of you guys might not even know who Dr. J was. Is another one of those guys who, in Oakland, first round draft pick, didn't live up to expectations, but I don't think they played him at the right position. You know, I think he was out of position, and it was just, we all think that when you play football, a right tackle and left tackle are interchangeable. Right guard, left guard, interchangeable. They can be. You can have guys that are gifted enough that they can play all the positions on the line. But that's not necessarily the case with all. I equate it to being right-handed trying to write with your left hand. You can write with your left hand, but it's not as legible. It's not as clear. It's not as easy. You got to put more thought. You've literally got to think when you're doing it. And that's the difference of playing tackle versus end. And a lot of times you have guys that are playing out of position. They do okay with it, but they're not going to be really that master like they were of what they are better suited at. And I think Kona Ely was one of those ones when he was in Oakland. Hopefully they find him the right spot. Ely. Jahai Ward is another one of those guys who I think is going to be a better tackle than defensive end. We'll have to wait and see how it fits, but you're seeing a lot of these guys that are getting an opportunity and a second chance on life that are stepping up and making you start to forget about David Irving. David Irving, on the other side of the fence, one, needs to resolve all the issues that he has. He needs to focus on getting that together, but two, also understand that the clock is ticking, that the opportunity may not be there if one of these other guys really starts to step up. Because you also have, of course, Randy Gregory. You know, they're bringing him along slowly and things, but if all of a sudden you see a Taco who's, you know, mixing it up with La'el Collins, if you see Taco playing real well, fighting for time against Kona Ely, against Jahai Ward, against Tyrone Crawford, all of a sudden if these guys are stepping up, then you start looking at David Irving and saying, okay, well, we paid him for this year, but do we really need the baggage that goes along? So this is opportunities for a lot of people, but there's shrinking opportunities because there's going to be an odd man out. Toppers even looked good in here. So we'll see how it shakes out with practice and, of course, with preseason. God. Sorry, I'm still recovering from the sewer line being backed up and messed up and all that, and haven't had enough coffee just yet. But the good news is, 7 o'clock this time tomorrow, I will be on an airplane headed to California, where we will be at training camp on Thursday. And I may just have a couple of special guest hosts with me. I'm Mark Holmes, and boy, did I butcher up this broadcast, but thank you guys for being part of the Jobu Sports Report. I'll be seeing you in California soon.